Hey y'all, this is episode 1 of Disturbing the Main Team, where we talk about everything WZMB management related. I'm Tiffany, WZMB's station manager, and to my right I have...
Hi, I'm Olivia. I am the music director for WZMB. And then to my right...
Hey guys, I'm Dimitri. I'm the production director. There's no one to my right, but yeah.
Your right's the computer.
Yeah.
We're just a happy family, you know?
I mean, I could put the computer on the mic, see what it wants to say.
See what the computer has to say, really?
I don't think it's going to say much.
Hey guys, this is the computer. I actually don't have anything to say. But our sports production manager does.
Yeah, he's got a little section at the end. This is me post-edit. Anyways, we're getting back to the podcast.
Anyways, but yeah, this is our management podcast, basically. Today we're just going to be talking about what we do, why we do it, and why it's important for the station.
This is kind of like different for me. This is like my official like podcast. I don't know about you guys. I'm kind of like, I don't know what to say.
I've never done a podcast before, but I've done a show with DJs before, like a 2-person show, but like a podcast I've never done. So
I did, however. I'm just, don't mean to brag.
okay. So you're the master?
No, it was more like I did it over like WebEx and stuff, and they recorded it, and then somebody else edited it.
Got you. Okay.
Don't listen to it though.
Well, I'm just gonna say that we're all new to this, but hey, it's a learning experience. It's gonna be a good time for everybody.
Yeah, I'm excited to see like, where it goes and like watch us grow from episode 1. So I guess we can just get into like what we do on a day-to-day basis. Let's start with Dimitri, because I feel like you're always like in the woodwork. So what do you do at WZMB?
It's basically just a lot of editing. I'm always on the computer and stuff. When I'm not playing Cool Math, I'll be making people's like intros or teasers. So like that's just like beginning of like their show, them introducing themselves, that kind of thingy. There's explosions and stuff. I make PSAs, stuff that'll like say not to cross the road and stuff. More lately, I've been collaborating with like artists in the local area, musicians, with like interviews. I'll record them playing a song, just stuff like that. I'd say I've probably been here since like 2019. So, but like production-wise, I've been doing this since like last summer, which is as of now 2022. Well, it's not gonna change the years, but Anyways, what's up with you guys?
Liv.
All right, my turn. So as music director, it's kind of obvious in the name, I'm pretty much in charge of everything music related. So creating playlists for our events that we host, creating playlists for Spotify, creating playlists for DJs when they have to play required music on air. It's called our Top 30, and I create that every single month, and DJs have to pick from that list to play a certain amount each show. It's really fun. I also help set up interviews, and I help set up some of those sessions that Dimitri works on. I email or I message them on Instagram. It's like, hey, do you want to set up an interview? And we've been doing a lot of interviews lately, and it's been super cool. I also contact promoters. They send me music, and whether I like it or not, or we are allowed to play it, I put it in the system for DJs to play or for the automation to play. And I decide if it can be played or not based on the FCC, which is the Federal Communications Commission, and they are very picky, which is fair because we are live radio. It's the same thing as TV. You have certain rules and laws you have to follow. It's not just you can say or play whatever you want. So the music has to be clean, like no swearing, no drug references, no alcohol references, stuff like that. So it's a lot of behind the scenes stuff that people don't usually think about. People usually think it's just, I make playlists and I'm in charge of other fun music stuff, but it's a lot of business and law stuff, which is really cool. What about you, Tiffany?
You guys just made it seem like you guys do a whole bunch, and you guys do, but it's like, dang, what do I do? Like, I feel like you guys do a lot, and I will say that, like, I'm very thankful for you guys. You guys are definitely, like, my backbone and, like, helping me make decisions and just making sure everything runs afloat, and then, just keeping the peace. I would say as station manager, I feel like I don't want to say I don't do a lot, because I feel like I do a lot with just like making sure that the boat is like staying steady, just helping us like get to our goals, and then more than anything just interacting with DJs and making sure they have everything they need to be successful and grow as, you know, on-air personalities. I would say that one of my favorite things about being station manager is like checking our goals off, like Liv was saying, working with different artists and getting in contact with people, and Dimitri doing sessions and talk breaks. It's always fun to watch that, you know, those goals get achieved and like mark it off in the end. I really like too, like just like being personable with people. So like being the manager, like talking to everybody and like making sure everybody's comfortable, getting to know everybody and helping them, and just, you know, making sure everything stays afloat and taking care of my management team, making sure they have everything to be successful, as well as like discipline. Like we haven't really had to do a lot of discipline this year. I think it's because everybody's like on their P's and Q's, but yeah, I would say that's like the least fun part. It was just like getting on everybody and like telling them like, hey, you can't do this, you can't do that. But I do like planning staff meetings, doing remotes, and yeah, it's just like, I would say my job is basically like just keeping structure, keeping us like on a plan, like keeping us working towards better and growing.
So Dimitri, putting you on the spot, making you go first again. What's your favorite part of being on production director duties?
Selfishly, I can make whatever I want. And then like I can like I don't want to use the word coerce, but like, you know, I convince people to like go along with my idea kind of thing.
Oh my god.
With like the stuff mainly with stuff I make, but you know, I'm not gonna go on like just go to like your office and be like, you should do that. But you know, just in my office, it's more of like a what I say goes kind of thing.
You do have a lot of creative freedom.
I do. I feel like I might have a little too much, but like.
I mean, you do a pretty great job though. Like you do a good job.
Yeah, you don't let it get to your head, you know.
I think it started with me seeing like how far I can go, and then like.
Yeah.
And I'm still like kind of like I'm slowly trying to see how far I can go
and
with
then
like
we
my
noticed
stuff.
it, and we were like, okay.
I mean, there's a few things that like I don't know. Do we want to talk about that?
I feel like everything that you do, like when you do stuff, we can tell like, okay, Dimitri had his hand on that, which makes like, you know, which makes it kind of cool, because you do have your own like, you know, creative style and creative taste.
It's just whenever I do create stuff, I like to pretend I have like a little Jiminy Cricket on my shoulder, you know.
I thought it was more of a devil and angel kind of situation.
It's more like it's whoever's on the clock, you know.
Yeah, that's fair. But
What about you? What do you love most about your job?
So, what I love most about my job, I'm obsessed with music in general. Like, I'm constantly on Spotify, I'm constantly listening to music, I'm constantly discovering more music. But I think making the top 30 playlists and seeing people's reaction is my favorite. We just had a DJ come in, and he was like, I've played half of this list already, and I've saved almost all of it to my phone. And that just makes me feel so good, because I'm not only doing it for me, but I like sharing the music that I love with other people and helping them discover new music instead of, not that there's anything wrong with mainstream, but you know, it's mainstream, everybody listens to it. I want underground artists to be able to have their creativity shared. And that's why I love it so much. Funny enough, I love this so much. The job that I'm doing right now, I want to be my career. So, like, I'm a senior, so I'm looking for jobs on LinkedIn, and I'm putting in, like, radio stations, music director, music coordinator for broadcasting and production, stuff like that. So, I love what I do very, very much. What about you, Tiffany? What's your favorite part?
My favorite part is coming in and seeing you guys every day.
Oh my gosh.
No, but I mean that part is too, like, I feel like I've like WZMB has kind of like been like kind of like a family to me, like kind of like a way, like I know I always have somewhere to go and like talk and like vent or just like, you know, talk and stuff and like just share everything. But I do like meeting new people and like getting to pick their brains and see like what's up with them. I feel like especially with our DJs, we have so many different personalities that it's cool to see like what everybody's doing. And I feel like too, a lot of people assume that like, okay, they're in radio, you must be like a comm major, you want to do something with broadcast or like, you know, something that's gonna be like a career. But it's like, no, we have people doing bio, like Dimitri. I think that's really cool. There's a DJ, he's anthropology, like he wants to like.
Who's anthropology?
Matthew.
Yeah,
No way.
he's doing anthropology.
That's cool.
Yeah, just everybody has their hands in different stuff, so I think that's always cool to see. Just seeing everybody's different like story and backgrounds. I like to be. I mean, I wouldn't say this like I feel like I've grown a lot since I've been here too. But, like I've noticed that like I like to be like with other people, like a people person kind of like. So just getting around, being around other people and like talking to them and sharing their stories, it's fun. It's just another way for us to all bond, like be like a huge family.
I will say I have noticed because I got here before you, but after Dimitri. I've been here since spring of 2021, and I've been on management since fall of 2021. So I've been doing this for 2 years now.
Right.
But when you got here, you were a DJ and I was management.
Right.
And you were like, you were very sweet, and not saying that you weren't, but you were just quiet and like,
Yeah.
even though you're here all the time, you were in your own bubble. But now that you're in charge of everybody, you've opened up so much more. And you were always a people person, but now you're like extra people person. And it's fun and interesting to see that growth, the character arc, I guess.
Yeah, and I feel like too, like being a manager, like Liv was saying, like last semester, I would never have thought I would be able to do this. Like I didn't even want to do it. I was like,
You did
okay,
not.
like I like coming in here, like Liv was saying, being in my bubble, doing my show, talking for a little bit, and then going to like home, like doing whatever I have to do after this. So like, if anything, it's forced me to like have to talk to people. Does that make sense? Like I've had to like come out of my shell. Like I can't just sit behind my desk all day and not talk because they're like, if not, they're gonna talk to me. They're gonna bother me. They're depending on me to like, you know, make conversations. And I want everybody to feel welcome. I don't like, you know, it's like a big family to me.
Exactly. The last station manager from last year was like, hey, do you want to be station manager? And you went, no,
Yeah,
absolutely not. And that'd be a little, because we were looking for somebody and we thought you
Yeah.
were a good fit. So we had to do, not like bribe, but like a little like convincing of like, you're capable of it. But you were just like, no,
Yeah,
absolutely not.
get somebody
No.
else to do it.
But it's interesting because you've grown so much, not even just as management as a person, not trying to be corny and all sappy, but you have. And
Thanks, Liv.
I'm proud of everybody.
Even Dimitri.
Even Dimitri. Oh my
was
gosh.
like,
Let's talk about Dimitri.
Oh,
Okay.
wow.
So he's was a DJ for like how many years? 2?
I've been a DJ here since 2019.
Yeah, so
So
he's
a
been here a
minute.
hot minute before
Yeah.
any of us. You probably are the oldest DJ here by now.
Probably not oldest, but you
Well,
know,
not oldest age,
seniority.
but you
you
seniority.
get a medallion, right?
Yeah, I'm
Oh,
gonna
I'm so ready for my medallion. But anyways, he's been here the longest, and we were looking for production also. And the last one was like, "What about Dimitri?" And we were like, I don't know. And then we asked him, and then I think you were kind of like,
I was iffy about it.
you were like, okay. And then you sat down with him, and then you were like, this seems all right. And then you were like, screw it, let's do it. And now you're like killing it.
Thank you.
You're doing great. I'm so proud of you. Also, great character growth with you.
Thank you.
Yeah, like, and I was gonna say, kind of like what Liv was saying, like, you're doing an awesome job, and like, it's always like warming to see, like, okay, like, you know, like, I believed in this person, I knew they could do the job, but like, when other people like love your work, like, all the DJs are always like, I love my intro, I love my teaser, thanks so much, Dimitri, you're the best. Like, I know that makes you feel like warm and fuzzy inside.
Yeah, it just makes my head just bigger, you know.
Yeah, not just your head, but your heart.
Yeah,
Okay.
yeah, that's it.
But I love that we're just hyping each other up at this point.
Yeah.
I mean, it's good.
It's good. We hyped up you. We hyped up you. I'm hyping up myself because I just love what I do. You
Mhm.
know, it's fine.
Like, you love what you do, so like, what does an like everyday like task look like for you? Like, what's like an everyday like, okay, music director, this is what I'm gonna do today.
So the first thing that I do is I check my thousands of emails. I'm not even exaggerating. There are probably 3,000 emails in the music director
Yeah.
account right now, and most of it's spam and junk, but a lot of it is also from the main promoters that I talk to. They send me their music and I listen to it, and because I'm management, I have the authority to be like, you know what, I don't like this song, so I'm not going to put it in, or I do like this song and I am going to put it in. But also I know that my tastes are different from others, so I'm like, all right, I have a feeling this person would like it, so I'll put it in. Stuff like that. We have a very detailed tracking system because I need to know what's being played at all times just to make sure nothing goes wrong. So the DJs have a Google Doc or an Excel sheet of every show that they have. They need to write down all the songs that they've played and who it's by and so I can just see how often it's played, not what's not being played, stuff like that. I also, another thing, I get a lot of CDs. We still get snail mail, and I'm just, because it's in my way pretty much, so I just sit there and I just open CDs, and there's a lot of CDs, like so much, and I have a CD player and it doesn't work, so I can't even like listen to them, so I just have to Google it and listen to it on Spotify, which is fine. So I guess they're just decorative for now.
It's kind of weird to see CDs though, because I feel like we've like kind of like grown out of that.
Yeah.
Like everything is on the phone. Like,
Everything is
why do you
digital.
need a CD?
Everything's streaming. Like, we had so many CDs last year. At one point, we started putting them on the wall for decoration because there was no room for them.
Right.
There's just so much. But yeah, it's mainly just emails, phone calls, a lot of documentation, Excel stuff. But it's fun. I still enjoy it. What about you, Tiffany?
I would say Liv was right on the head with like coming in and checking emails, because like as station manager, that's where we get a lot of our like stuff going. I mean, emails too, and like what Liv is saying, like Liv does a good job of checking Instagram, making sure, because we get a lot of traction through there too. But emails is where a lot of people contact us at, because that's where it's on the website. I would say too, part of my job that I like realized more and more, like especially since last semester, is planning. Like, okay, like, and I like to plan by the months, like, okay, this month we're gonna do this, we're gonna knock this out, we're gonna have this, that, and just making sure everybody's doing what they're supposed to be doing. Like, everybody's here for their hours, all the DJs are coming in for the show in time, and making sure everything is like running smoothly. Dimitri, what about you?
Yeah, I come in and I just start doing stuff, I guess. I don't know. That's like
Start doing stuff.
I don't know. It's like the basic thing. I walk in, I think to myself, like, what do I gotta do today again? And then like I'll suddenly remember, and then I'll come in. Like, I have a little list written down and stuff, but I'll come in, I'll start editing. I schedule interviews and like recordings with like artists. I'm in contact with like a production company that's pretty local, so like they get me in contact with like local artists and stuff. And then working with the DJs, I usually just like DM them during my office hours, or like out of my office hours, because I don't want to be like I'll only text you on the clock kind of thing. Yeah.
I feel like this is like the most like, well, since I've been here, not to judge, but like looking at like the time dates, like YouTube and stuff, this is like the most consistent we've ever been with like getting sessions out, getting talk breaks out, like back to back, like getting people in. And that's all because of like just like good planning, and Dimitri like talking to people. And I feel like that's another part of your growth too, like having to like reach out and like talk to people and like get them to do stuff for us. But I think it's cool, like we've been having like, how many sessions have we had already?
I think this semester, I think we have like 2 out, and I already have like 2 more planned.
Right.
And like last semester we had like 4.
Right.
Maybe 3 or 4.
And it's gonna be even more than that, because like the guy that I'm in contact with, he was like, I have like more artists if like you want to like see what I have. And I was like,
Please,
yeah.
yes, more. I will say, Tiffany, every station manager, they're different, which is fine. We like the variety, but I've had 2 station managers so far that I've been here, and they each have a different goal. Like the one last year was more external participation, so like getting in contact with clubs and organizations and companies and donations and stuff. And you're more internal, so like what kind of projects can we produce to get ourselves out there? And I just like seeing the stark difference. It's really cool. Not that one's worse or better over the other, but I've noticed that you're more of internal. It's like, what can we do to better ourselves? And like we're doing workshops, and we're doing interviews, and we're doing like what's the word I'm thinking of? We're just contacting our DJs after the shows and like, this is what you're doing amazing, this is what you could probably work on, but like this is how we can help you to get better. And it's very like personal, and like we're growing, and we're like working on ourselves, and I just think that's really cool.
Yeah, I think it's also cool to see like people come to us. Like, I love it when you guys come to me like, hey, like so and so wants to do this with us, so and so wants to do that with us, because that means we are like growing, like people want to work with us because they see that we're something, and we are something. I feel like we're kind of a big deal.
We're very collaborative this year, and I think it's definitely helping us get ourselves out there, because we're hiding in the basement of Mendenhall. No one really knows where we are.
And every time they do come see us, they're always like, I didn't know you guys were down here.
It's
This
like
is so cool.
It's a nice little cave, I will say.
We've been here since, we've been a radio station for 70 years.
That's crazy.
And people don't know that we exist. It's
Yeah.
like, we do. We are here. Notice us. I did want to ask, what do you think makes a good manager? Since you are in charge of all of us.
What do I think makes a good manager? Like Liv was saying, like I feel like I've seen like a whole bunch of different like just like not even manager but like a leader, like you know, like people like having to work with the people, like people dictating in a way, and that's kind of the word that I hate when they like throw in the leader. That's why I always say like with you guys, like, you know, it's okay, it's like talk, it's okay, it's like, you know, be friendly, like sit with them. Like even at our meetings I was telling Liv and Dimitri, like, let's not all sit together and like it's like a dictatorship and we're like telling them like this is what we're doing. Like let's sit with them and like, you know, be personable and like, because we're at the same time, like I always think like if it was me, like how would I feel? Like we're low-key we're high-key the same age as most of all of them. Like it's kind of weird for me to be telling you do this, do that, because we're all grown, you know?
Yeah, like we're all the same age, and it's kind of like, why are you telling me what to do? You're like 6 months older than me.
Exactly. And some of them are older than me, so it's like,
That's just how student orgs work, unfortunately. Because we're like, yes, this is a job, but it's not like a full-fledged job like a corporation. Like, this is still a student org on ECU campus.
Right.
So it like that can make tension go up, but I don't think any of us, like, it gets to our heads, or I don't think anybody takes it really that personal.
For sure.
But to bounce off of that, if you were finished.
What I was telling, like, what I always tell the DJs too, like, especially like outside of this, like, I love WZMB, like, I love what I do, but this isn't my life. So, like, in that aspect, it's like I'm not on dictatorship 24/7, like, telling you what to do. So, in life, like, I would say, like, just treat people how you want to be treated. I think that's what makes a good leader, like, being respectful, being honest, and communicating, which is kind of easier said than done, like, what you want and what you need. Like, nobody, and always, like, put yourself in somebody else's shoes. Like, how would you feel if this was this or this was that? And everybody, too, is, like, everybody's different. People learn, people take, you know, stuff differently, which is why I have to try to, like, be careful, like, what I say. That's why I always ask you guys, like, dang, was that too harsh? Was that too mean? You know? And you guys are always like, you know, you did good, or we could do this. And always, like, look for a solution. I feel like sometimes, too, I have a hard time with, like, comfort rather than solution sometimes, which I feel like you guys kind of balance me out, especially Liv, because she's kind of like, I'm kind of like, well, no, let's do this. And Liv was like, no, this is wrong. We're going to correct this.
Okay, let me defend myself because I sound like I'm crazy.
You're not crazy.
So I'm just, me as a person, I'm a very matter-of-fact person.
Yeah.
Like, I'm not mean, but I'm not
not.
going to sugarcoat it.
Yeah.
Like, especially when there's work to be done. Like, I'm not going to be, like, bossing you and micromanaging you, but also at the same time, I need to let you know how it is, because if I don't let you know how it is, the problem or the situation that we have is not going to get fixed.
Right.
And it's just going to make it harder on everybody.
And I feel like, too, like, Dimitri's kind of like a mixture of both in a way. Because there'll be sometimes Dimitri would be like,
Whatever.
I'll come to him and he'll be like, yeah, they were wrong. Like,
Yeah.
that's not fair.
Yeah, I just try to, like, with, like, I don't know. What are we talking about?
I just feel like you try to be fair. We all try to be fair.
I try to be fair, and then, like, you know, just I also like I really like how we're all on the same page of, like, just like, even though we're managers, they're the people we manage are like the same age as us. I mean, like, I'm about to hang out with someone like from the station tonight,
Exactly.
and then, like, yeah, I like that, and it's just for, like, little manager stuff, I'll try to be, like, gray about it, but, like, if there's, like, somebody's clearly in the wrong, I'll just say it.
And that's a good point. I'm sorry, Liv. That's a good point too. Like, I always say, like, I always, like, was telling myself last semester, like, even during the summer, like, so many people are my friends. So when it's time to, like, crack down,
You feel bad.
yeah, I feel bad. And I feel like, too, like, you, Dimitri, but especially Liv, she's always, like, telling me, like, Tiff, like, okay, you know, they're cool and all, but, hey, they're tracking wrong. They tracked for the third week wrong. Like, we're going to have to write them up, you know? Which makes sense. Like, I'm all about the rules and being fair, but, like, you guys kind of keep me together.
And it's not like a control thing, obviously
Right.
not. It's I don't have $10,000 to pay the FCC when
It's
we
black and white.
do something wrong, you
Yeah.
know? But what the three of us remind me of is, like, you know, like in high school when you learn about the ego and super ego and the id. I think that's the three of us. I feel like I'm, like, super ego sometimes, or I'm like, we need to get things done. We need to do this. I promise I'm not crazy. I think I'm just passionate because
are.
I want to do this as a career. So I take this way more seriously than everybody else because they're like, oh, this is just for fun. For me, this is not for fun. I mean, of course it's for fun. I love doing this, but I also want to do things correctly so I have the correct stuff to put on my resume.
Like, even though, like, it's fun, you still want to take it seriously.
Exactly, because I want to do this for my job for the rest of my life. I don't think anybody else at the station right now wants to do that. So I think that's why I'm very much like, we gotta get stuff done this certain way, or, you know, we're gonna blow up. We're not gonna blow up, but, you know.
Also, I feel like I'm at that point where, like, I want to do this as a career and stuff, but it's like,
Yay!
I've been doing so much biology stuff, like, I don't know how to, like, transition from that, like, after college, you know?
Yeah.
Because I feel like I only have this on, like, on my belt for, like, my resume.
I feel like you could just, like, do, like, community college. I'm sure they have some kind of
That's what I'm thinking of.
training.
I'll probably, like, you know, play around with that.
Yeah.
Because this started as like an extracurricular for you, right? Like you were just like, I'm just gonna be a DJ. And
It did. I joined as a joke at first.
A joke?
I'll explain it later, maybe.
Oh my
I don't know.
gosh.
Should I explain it now why I
that's
joined?
good. Yeah, we can. Yeah.
Okay. Oh man, my origin story. Okay, so when I first joined, when I first started, I was a little freshman, and then like I just so happened to like come across my friends who were just so happened to be going to the part-time job fair, and I was like, I don't really need a job right now, but I guess I'll go. I did in fact need a job at the time.
Yeah.
But yeah, I went, and there was this guy here. His name is Colt. He's the old production director, actually. And then he was like, if you guys want to be on the radio, here's a flyer. And then I was like, oh my god, I had this idea. Okay, I was gonna join, and I was gonna be DJ Stutter.
Oh.
Why DJ stutter?
So I can start every show going like, it's DJ, and then I'll start stuttering, and then, cause you know, I was already gonna be nervous anyways, so I might as well use that as a joke. But yeah, I decided against it in the end, cause I don't think, like, you know, it probably wouldn't age well at all.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Well, I'm glad you stuck around.
Yeah.
Because now you're DJ Atomic.
I am.
That's way
yeah.
cooler, in my opinion.
I will say, well, my origin story is kind of like the same as Dimitri a little bit. Like, I mean, it was like a fair and I saw WZMB and I was like, okay. And it was crazy because the day I was supposed to go to like the workshop or whatever for it, I did not want to go. Like, I was like, okay, I don't want to go. Like, I don't really feel good. But something told me, like, just go and see what they had to say. And that's where I met the old station manager who was here last year. And she was like, yeah, come. And we toured the station and everything like that. Got an interview. And then the rest is history. And yeah, it was crazy, though, because I did not want to go to that workshop.
Yeah.
Like, I was not trying to go.
Well, I'm glad you did. I guess I feel like I need to share my origin story now. So, when I was a wee lass, 2021. When was that? That was like 2 years ago.
It was.
That's already 2 years ago, jeez.
Time flies.
My old roommate, who was a writer for the East Carolinian in the magazines.
Oh wow.
So she already worked at Pirate Media One and was like, hey, we have I know there's a radio station here, they have openings, and I know you like music, because I was looking for something to do related to music, because I needed an outlet, creative outlet. And she was like, go to those. Like, they're looking for DJs, and I was like, all right. And I had an interview with 2 station managers before. Her name was Sydney.
Yeah.
She was super cool, and I got it because it was during COVID, so they didn't have any DJs. So I automatically got it because they needed DJs, and I did everything virtual except for going in and doing my show. But I had to like mask on, mic cover, gloves, hand sanitizer. It was a whole situation.
I remember that, yeah.
And I've stuck out ever since, and
Speaking
this
of,
is
like,
my home.
the years that you guys like joined, like what was like the staff like how many staff was it when you joined Dimitri?
Oh man. Okay, so when I first joined, it was a good amount. We had like 20 people, and then COVID hit, and then it went to like just a few people. And then I think post-COVID is when we had like only like how many, like 10-ish people?
Wait, Liz, is that when you were in it?
Or, like,
No.
It might not have been 10-ish people, but like I was talking about like just recently, like
a slim
like the
number?
last semester
When
with where your station.
I joined,
Dang.
so I started in the summer. There were 3 DJs, but 2 DJs technically. It was me and Jess. And it was just us. And there was one other guy, but we'd never seen him, never heard from him, because he was going to do it virtually and send us stuff, but he never did. So there was 2 DJs when I started.
What?
And then when the fall came, everybody came back, and there was like maybe 10, 12.
Mm-hmm.
But it was nuts because there was no one here. It
I
was
think it's
dead.
crazy because like I've been here for so long. I've gone through like 4 station managers now.
Yeah,
Dang.
Yeah.
you're old.
I'm a little old.
You're an
You're a
old
veteran
man.
for sure.
Veteran DJ.
And then when I joined in the spring, I joined in the spring of last year, you guys.
You did,
Yeah, you've only been here for a year.
That's crazy. How many of it was us? It was, you guys were all on
There was
staff.
a good
A
amount.
good 20.
20.
Yeah, it was 20, and now we have like
30.
30, which is
Yeah.
crazy.
So it went from 20 to 2 to 10 to 12 to 20 to 30. Well, thank you guys for listening. I almost said tuning in, but we're not live. But thank you guys for listening. Just us ramble about behind the scenes stuff and management. This is really fun actually.
It was really fun. I feel like I was kind of like nervous, but it's like, okay, we're just having a conversation.
It's just a
Like, We're just
conversation.
chilling.
Don't
Just
worry
vibing.
about the timer.
I
Just
feel like I'm kind of just exposing myself during all this,
Nah,
but
nah,
alright.
No, you haven't told us too much.
people
about
are
you.
learning new things. It's okay.
We'll talk about the next time. We'll talk about the radiogram that didn't make it past Olivia.
Oh my god.
Yeah. We'll talk about our failures and our successes into more detail.
What's difficult about the job?
You know,
Yeah.
all of it.
Well, thank you guys for listening. We can't wait to, I guess, bring more spice and tea.
Yeah.
About management. Maybe
Yeah.
we can bring.
Wait, goes on behind closed doors.
Oh my gosh.
Hey guys, how's it going? It's me, Dimitri again. I'm here with Sean.
What's going on, guys?
Our office hours aren't really lining up, so like we're doing a little section with Sean. He's getting his own his section. We're gonna introduce him, see how he's doing. How are you doing today, though?
You know what? I'm doing just fine, Dimitri. You know, it's kind of a rainy day today.
It is rainy. Yeah, I bought an umbrella for the first time in like 4 years today. I will say.
You know, it's a good time to use it today. I mean,
It's a
it's
great
pretty
time.
ugly. It's pretty
Yeah.
ugly today.
I heard it's gonna rain even more when I leave, so I'm looking forward to that. Anyways, we can start off and just be like, you just introduce yourself, say what you do.
So yeah, like I said, my name's Sean. I'm the news and sports director here at WZMB. Basically, what I'm in charge of is scheduling the women's basketball games and calling some of the women's basketball games. And, and also that comes with setting up the ComRec system, which that in itself can be quite a pain sometimes.
It seems like a pain. I've looked at it. It looks complicated, and I'm scared of it.
It is. You should be scared of it. It's not fun to use, but it gets the job done, and it's a lot of fun calling those games. And so that's one of my responsibilities. So my office hours, obviously they're a little weird, and I spend them here in the station or at Midges Coliseum. Just depends on if the women have a game or not.
I will say though, like compared to like last semester, like with our the manager's office hours, like they overlapped like pretty well. But like compared to like this semester, like it's been everywhere.
I know. If all 4 of us are kind of all over the place. Coming in
Yeah.
whenever we can. It's kind of.
It seems like there's always just 2 people in
my
at a
average
time.
day,
it's never like just all of
basically,
us.
instead of it all, I'll be scheduling some
So would you
basketball
say, like, your
games.
average
I'll send some emails, but I mean, day to day, I don't have necessarily a lot to do, especially not as much as you or Liv would
Yeah.
have to do. But a lot of my stuff kind of comes around women's basketball, so I kind of have to plan my days around that and kind of schedule around that. So that's more of what I do day to day.
That sounds pretty interesting. And like you're pretty new. Like this is your first semester doing this stuff. And how are you liking it? What do you love most about it?
It's definitely a rewarding experience, because when I schedule some of these DJs who have never called a game before, and then to see them, kind of develop and then really get comfortable in it, it's good to see, and I can kind of help them get more comfortable in it, and the people I've worked with have said that it's been fun, so it's definitely good to see that, and good to see these young guys who still want to do it.
It does look scary at first, but like what I have noticed is like new DJs, like they would do it and then like they would keep on and do it like the next time.
Yeah. I mean, I've had multiple people say it was fun and they want to do it again. So yeah, I mean that's it's really rewarding for me as a manager to see that.
That sounds pretty cool. And then we got like one last question for you. What do you think makes a good manager?
A good manager, you need to be organized, obviously. You can have a lot of, emails, paperwork, all that sort of thing. And then you also need to be knowledgeable in what you're teaching your staff. You can't not know what you're teaching or not know some of the things that you're supposed to know, and then obviously you be a good leader that kind of follow alongs with that. But yeah, those are 3 things: be organized, be a good leader, and know what you're talking about.
I would say being pretty knowledgeable. That's a very big one. Like just being here for a couple years myself, I would say like I don't want to like brag and be like I know everything right here, because of course there's definitely stuff like I don't know. Because like with sports, like I if put me in your job, I wouldn't even know where to begin.
Right, but I mean it's the same with me. Like if I put me in the production manager, I don't know where to begin.
I really like that with like the management. It's like we all have like our individual strengths, and like that all like pretty much just comes together.
Exactly. Yeah. We all have our strengths and weaknesses, but we put that together. That's our team.
We're pretty. It's a pretty good team. I would say.
Yeah, we got a good team for sure.
I would say that. Yeah. Anyways, I mean, like, I feel like that's all I have for you.
Yeah. I mean, hopefully we can keep going with the podcast. And I like this little section, Sean's section here
like,
a little bit.
I like to call it Sean's Corner.
That's Sean's Corner. Yeah, I like that too. Yeah.
Anyways, guys, you can tune in like that. The next episode, we'll have more of Sean's Corner going on.
Peace out, guys. Have a good day, and we'll see you next time on the podcast.
All right, I'll see you guys.